I'll leave it. Let's go like this.
Look at y'all back up, back so
All right, Shalom, Makim, Waf. First and foremost, before we start, we want to give all the praises, glory, and honor unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Takudash.
Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who do well, and peace and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We are back together once again with another lesson. All right, we in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, just so you out there, we to have no leaven in our homes, and even spiritually, have no leaven even within you. All right, and as you can see the title, wickedness shall be increased. And we're in that time. We're at the end of the world, so you already know that wickedness is going to be at its pinnacle. All right, and brothers got it. Second Ezra 5. You start. You just start there.
This is Second Ezra 5, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, "Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number."
Mm-hmm.
If I can say this real quick, those tokens are the prophecies. Okay, so you can see as the prophecies are being shown, a great number will be taken in, what did it say?
We know shall be taken. It's like I was in here.
Yeah, you got it. So, but anyway, so that's the tokens of prophecy. Whatever.
That they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. And also, the brother bringing out the fact that the prophecies of the token, the prophecies prophesy that people are going to be dying off, and things are going to get worse. And evil times, bad times are coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these tokens are among the elect. They understand and know the times and the tokens.
Right.
Okay, and going back to what was it, Isaiah 8:16, where it says, "Bind up the testimony and seal my law among my disciples."
Yeah.
So the elect, they have the understanding of these times that we're in, and that's why we're out here. Because if it wasn't such great wickedness in the earth, then you think that we'd be out there as consecutive as we are.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Lord is he sends his men, which the prophets are his mouthpiece. They're basically, the prophets represent the communication of the Most High, to the world, predominantly his people, Israel.
And the Lord is a balanced power.
Yep.
So if the world is engulfing wickedness, you gotta have, righteousness, at the same time.
Right.
And also, this scripture right here, Second Ezra 5:1, it goes into the famine of the word too.
Yeah.
So when the famine of the word comes, it's all action after that.
Yeah.
When you take his men off the street, everything they prophesy is going to be happening in your face.
Yeah.
That's why it says, "In the way of truth shall be hidden," because the men won't be out there giving you that truth anymore. Esau gonna cut the internet. And you're gonna have those who don't have this, this truth, and you're out there.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go to the sellers and buy at that point.
Okay.
Verse 2, it says, "But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago."
Mm-hmm. So the angel was telling Ezra that you think the wickedness is great now, the times in the future, it's going to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
A lot worse.
And we're
On
seeing
a
it.
whole nother level.
Yeah,
And we're in that time now, witnessing that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very bitter to behold, to experience, to witness.
Wickedness at a level now. Esau talking about he wants to dim the sun.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I got to show you how when the gates of hell also saying that he wants to put a layer over the earth to block the sun out.
Yeah.
Or have they, didn't the Moab, have they tried to come up with their own moon or something like that?
They try to work. They're operating on an artificial sun.
That's wickedness, man.
Yeah.
They already try to change the times by with your daylight saving times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, leap years.
Yeah, these calendars that don't keep accurate time. You know, the time was based upon the moon and the seasons that came around. And it was a cycle the whole time, but trying to keep it under a set amount of days or a set amount of months, you blow the whole because if you only have 28 days in February, how is it ever gonna line up on righteous scale if some days are 28 of a month and some are 31 days of a month? That's 3 days in a gap that are just added on to every year. You're never gonna get the same accuracy in keeping time on a calendar level.
Verse 3. And the land that thou seest now to have fruit shall see shall thou see wasted suddenly. I'm gonna jump down to verse 7. It says, and the Sodomite sea shall cast out fish and make noise in the night, which many have not known. But they shall all hear the voice thereof. Now the sea represents people, nations, and the fish represents the different doctrines that are being pushed out there. And that and it says and the noise represents confusion. Verse 8: There shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their place, and mistress women shall bring forth monsters.
So, hey, in other words, the earth is going to be out of course. Everything is out of order. Everything that the Lord said from the beginning that was good, it's all been turned into evil. You know, the animals, you know, they didn't change their natural habitat, so because all the ecosystems are out of whack. That's because this devil, it is, you know, his constant voyage of just conquering and destroying and exploiting, extracting resources out of earth, destroying destroying everything in his path, man.
I was just gonna say, it throws the balance off course of the earth when you have an endangered species on the planet. When you're wiping out certain species of animals, you're throwing off the whole ecosystem. The food chain is not where it should be. Okay, because you're going into the oceans and taking not to be confused what we're talking about, but when you go into the ocean, you take a bunch of fish out, you know, deep sea fish that are set there to cleanse the water,
Or shrimp,
or you know,
lobster,
those bottom feeders
crab.
particularly.
Yeah.
When you have those water cleaning fish in it, but you're selling them as delicacies for a higher price, it's going to throw off the whole course of the earth.
Then also you're gonna have certain animals that were supposed to be preyed upon will be there. So they gotta go prey upon another species. I got one more verse, bro.
Bring them back up. It's Psalms 82:5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
It is.
That's plain.
Everything that was something stable to rest upon is now being manipulated by the damn devil. This man is going into every level of life on earth and trying to control it the way he sees fit with his wicked mind.
Because as the earth, much like the body is ran, you know, and made to, you know, help itself, man. For example, if you get a cut, your white blood cells attack that area to create a scab. So it's the same with the earth. You know, everything is in unity together, man. So as the brother was saying, just on the fishing aspect, another thing Esau does is he takes these big ass nets with weights on the bottom and he just runs it through coral reefs, man.
Yeah.
And that destroys all the tropical fish that are there. Hey, whether they eating off the reefs, the anemones and things of that sort. Hey, so as Karia said as well, those fish are preyed upon. So now they're not getting eaten, but they're not getting eaten by regular fish that eat them. So what? It throws off everything, man. Right.
Yeah. And that's what this is going into, man. Wickedness shall be increased in the earth, man.
That's how deep a level
Yeah.
that wickedness has increased. Hey,
And those things that we're speaking on, it affects us.
absolutely.
You know, it affects our health, our bodies. You know,
Because instead of eating righteous fish, what do we eat? Shellfish, bottom feeder fish. You know, and that's just in the we're just talking about the water at this point.
Right.
You know, we ain't got into how the pollution in the air, the fluoride in the drinking water. We ain't even got deep into how much. We ain't even got into the mentalities of the people. You know, as far as how bad it's got. What people call normal ain't normal.
Mm-hmm.
What people call love, it ain't love. You know, it's another form of hate to people. Truth it should be reigning supreme on the earth, but instead people wanna everybody to join into this what's that called? This big ass lie. I forgot what it's called. Collective lie of everybody playing along with this make believe ass game that this devil's putting in the earth.
If I can just help put it in perspective,
There you go.
in the lifespan of time, it takes 100 years for the forest to grow 1 inch of topsoil.
Mm.
And then I looked up the coral reef, and they're saying it takes 100,000 to 300 years to fully form.
Yeah, right.
So the type of damage that Eden is doing, it seems very irreversible. But that's part of the power of the Most High to allow this man to get it to this point to where like it's a tipping point. You would think that there's no return, but the scriptures tell you that the earth abideth forever. And so even though everything's off course, it's the proof that the Most High is stronger than Eden.
Right.
Say, look, you can have all this time, power, and favor, let it be shown unto the wicked, yet when they're not in righteousness, they're not reversing, anything. Any of these newer generations coming up, they're not reversing the crimes of their forefathers, they're not reversing the destruction of the planet, they're furthering.
Yeah, the Lord said in Job 14 chapter, the Lord set bounds that this man can't pass.
Well, good thing.
So going back to the elder was saying, Esau got a tipping point, man. He can't pass the particular bounds that the Most High set, of wickedness.
Right.
As the scripture says in Matthew 24th chapter, there will be no flesh left to save. That's how much wickedness would be upon the earth if we did the Most High just hold on. If there was an unknown bound even to the Most High, that Esau would rule for.
And another thing too, and we understand that Esau does nothing for the benefit of the people nor the environment. Hey, for example, this whole pandemic, man. Yeah, the scam. What happened? You have thousands of, or it's like millions of masks now in oceans and natural resource places, man. In nature, polluting the ocean, polluting forests, polluting deserts. And it's why? Because he's wicked. To put it plain.
These brothers said,
verse 9, 2 Ezra 5 and 9, it says, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another.
What does that mean? Salt water shall be found in the sweet. Things that are true and easily understood are now going to be part of confusion. They're not going to be, okay, I know that that's good, but now you're going to question if the sun is going to come up tomorrow. Now you're going to question, like half of these cloudy days we're having aren't because of the clouds out there. It's because of all the pollution in the air. So the course of Earth is all fucked up, man. And what are they doing to create that pollution? They're creating wickedness on the planet that's being pushed.
Man, even going into the barium oxide that they release on us every day. It's barium oxide and aluminum.
Yep.
And when you look on the periodic table, I remember the brother Monaghan brought it out. When you go to the periodic table, barium is Ba and aluminum is Al. Baal.
Yep.
So it's like, Esau knows what he's doing.
Yep.
It's all spiritual.
It's all spiritual, Hey, he's showing you he's the man of sin.
Yeah. He's been revealed. If you're still having trouble believing that Esau is the devil the Bible speaks of, I'm trying not to use his worldly title and what he likes to go by. But if you don't know that this man is the devil the Bible speaks of, then who is he? Where is somebody else fucking with every natural thing that happens on the earth? Is trying to control it, and not only control it, but change it. Okay, you gotta buy oxygen. That shit's everywhere, but you gotta buy oxygen on Earth. What kind of shit is that? It's in the atmosphere. Why do we have to pay for this shit?
Tax.
Yeah. That was it.
He's oppressing everything, even nature, man.
Mm-hmm.
The trees are being oppressed.
Right.
And especially when if Bill Gates of hell, he wants to try to block out the sun. You know, what is that going to do for the plants and the trees that need photosynthesis?
Yeah.
You know, the process of photosynthesis, man.
The people that need the sun, vitamin D, man.
No, that's our energy
But
source.
that's Jacob. You don't give a fuck about us.
Yeah, that's
They don't give a fuck about themselves. Exactly.
Remember the spirit, you want that, you don't want that purple stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Sunny D. That's right.
Also, on the man, back on what that brother was saying about salt water being found in the street, like it goes on like the love of many shall wax cold. You have neighbors that you get along with, and y'all eat together, and y'all celebrate things together, and y'all with each other, but you're gonna turn against one another.
It's a position for us.
Yeah, precept on that. Just what the Lord said. It's at 2 Ezra 6:24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run.
You jump to 16:32.
He said, verse 16,
Chapter 16.
And that proves, when Yahweh Shai said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. It's just going to be a cold, all-out cold spirit out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, things are scarce. We already hear about, food supply chains. It's already been affected, by the whole lockdowns.
Mm-hmm.
When it's not comfortable for you anymore, and it's, you're not able to, keep up the decadence, your true nature, everybody's true colors are going to start to, show forth. So people gonna be out here wild in these streets. They already got niggas killing each other over stimulus checks.
Yeah.
Water running.
Already.
The water.
Yeah.
Water running, bro.
Yeah. You hear on the whole family
Yeah, kind of.
because you want $1,400.
Yeah.
Money that's gonna be spent in probably 2 weeks, if that.
Money that should really just go towards your rent and your bills.
Yeah.
Sustain you another month. That's what it's really supposed to be doing. Not more J's, not bigger rims or whatever the gold in your foreheads or whatever these niggas are doing. Niggas doing the dumbest shit, man. Bro, the pink diamond. They got an eternal pink diamond in the damn forehead. And this Jake out there that's like, ooh, if I could afford a diamond. Idiot ass people, man. But that goes into how cool people are gonna be plotting against their own homeboy because they want that diamond in his forehead. They want that stimulus out their bank account. They want, they got covetousness in their heart. You got it, bro.
Second Ezra 13:30. But he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, everybody's enlisted in this spiritual war. Okay?
Yeah.
The good versus the evil. That's the different realms. Which one are you fighting for? I mean, this fight's gonna get so big that it's eventually gonna be fought in the sky. I don't want to say it the phrase is in the heavens, but they're gonna literally fight against the angels and the Lord, the Messiah. The people on earth gonna be in line with trying to defeat the Lord and his angels.
Yeah, that's why Michael the Archangel is like to come down and defend us.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be pretty intense.
Yep.
We're gonna need that spiritual hedge in the time to come, man.
Yep.
That's why it says in Psalm 91 that the angel is gonna have to give charge over us. This devil on the left hand, and he's opening up portals to welcome more spirits into the world.
Heavier on
That's CERN.
That's
yeah. Heavier spirit.
So that's increasing our spiritual warfare that we have to constantly battle and fight.
Right.
That's why Jake out there is they're losing it, man. You see, if you're of the elect, that enchantment ain't gonna work against you. Numbers 23, there's no enchantment against Jacob, no divination against Israel.
Mm-hmm.
That pertains now to the elect, But we dealing with those demons out there, man. Somebody can get Ephesians 6,
Oh, yeah.
6 and
Well,
11.
yeah, well,
And read down.
Let me finish this.
Yep.
Verse. It says, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into the secret chamber.
Hey, going into what we were just talking about. You know, the Lord's going to remove the men of the Lord, and these people, you know, they're going to be left in the dark. You don't have any access to, you know, to the answers. And pretty much once the Lord closed up shop, that's it. Just like when the Lord closed the door of Noah's Ark, there's no getting in. You had time to, you know, you had an invitation.
You could have helped me build and had the spot in there.
You had time. The Lord was going to suffer him through his prophets.
All you have to do is grab a hammer. Help him build.
Get a nail, grab a nail,
Gather some wood.
get some wood.
I would play from that one. It was something special with Noah, but still, you could have been right. You could have had you a spot on the ark. Now this time, there's a set number that will be filled on this, so on this ark. Okay, 144,000 and 1/3 that'll be on this ark that'll make it. Now, where are you going to be at? Okay, when the rest of our people that have a chance versus the people that don't even have a chance, but the rest of our people that have a chance that won't make it. Where will you be? This is a limited. Who said that? The limited invitation only. Somebody said something like that. Limited room. It was you, Marcus.
Limited time offer.
Yeah, and it's a limited time offer.
And listen to what it says. It says after the wit hide itself into an understanding, withdraw itself into the secret chambers. It says, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency.
Gotta go to Amos 8.
And then shall unrighteousness and inconsistencies be multiplied upon earth.
And that's where we at now, where wickedness is multiplying. And it tells you that in Proverbs 29, when wicked.
Then we hold on.
Let us
run through right quick. Let us run through right quick. Start with me.
Hit that one, Proverbs 29.
Let me read this one. It's Proverbs 28 and 28 and 28. Go with it. Then when the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Stay there. Jump down to verse 16.
The wicked are multiplied, transgressions increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall.
Done. So wickedness is at an all-time high. That's because of who's in power. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Let me read this.
It's not where, who is it?
Right. This is 18, bro.
It's like the word the brother read in 2 Ezra 6 and 10 or 5 and 10. The word incontinency, which means unchastity. You see? So it's saying that all these things are going to abound. Then shall unrighteousness and unchastity, basically wickedness, is going to be multiplied upon the earth. So that's showing you that there's not many righteous,
Many noble,
not many are called. Like the brother said, this is a very special thing to come into because of how the extent that the Most High is putting on how severe this is.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, it's crucial, man. You know, and you come into this thing, you're on holy grounds.
Right.
Anything outside of that, you're really in the death zone.
Yeah.
You know, and the Lord is right now. He's we were just talking about this. The Lord is kind of he's brought in the separation between those who are serving the Lord in spirit and truth versus the rest of the world. That's just they're just going completely
going along with it.
You know?
Because it's gonna, like the brother was saying, it's gonna be a separation because it's gonna be so wicked. It's like you're gonna have a choice. You're gonna go along with it, or you're gonna speak up and condemn the wickedness that is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, well, we can see with this this JAB that's going around, they're conforming to what Esau, Esau wants to do. So how much more they're going to conform to as the wickedness that Esau is going to continue to push.
Who will stand up for me against?
Workers of iniquity.
Yeah, who will stand
Who
up
shall
for me?
rise up and me against the
Who will rise up?
Evildoers.
Both of them.
Yeah, because if if you take a stand in this time,
Yeah.
You cancel.
yeah, you cancel culture.
Yeah.
You're gonna be attacked, man.
There you go. Make yourself pray.
Yeah, Isaiah 59 and 15, man. You depart from evil, you make yourself a prey, and that's where we at. So if you basically the Lord is making it to where you have to choose a side. If you choose to serve the Lord, prepare for persecution. Prepare for to be ostracized, to be demonized, to be accused, labeled. That's what's going to happen. That's the world that we're living in right now. The rest of the world, because they're going to go through the broad way, because that's the more easier way to go.
It's the more convenient
Yeah.
way to go. It's awesome.
As a matter of fact, like when you go into that Matthew 7, when the Lord said, "Broad is the way, wide is the gate that leads to destruction." When you look up broad in the Greek, one of the definitions is spacious, and spacious going to something being roomy to the point of comfort.
And also more of us, or more can do it. Like more room for more people to go that way.
Yeah.
That's what it says, and many there be then that go in there at.
You want me to read you on it?
Nah.
Yeah, I'll read it so we can get the context of it. Matthew 7 and 13, it said, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, and few be there that."
Because a straight way is it's gonna take you more discipline.
Yeah.
Which the world, when you living in decadence, you living as an Epicurean. That's the opposite of living, stoic. So a lot of these people are accustomed to that Epicurean lifestyle here in Babylon. That the straight and narrow way, it would just be like, hell no, that ain't for me. I'd rather just follow the world, where everything is more comfortable.
But like to bring it to like a movie, standpoint of the part. When you watch that movie Finding Nemo, the point in which they had to go through that mountain. The mountain had a bad rep, so to speak. Everybody was scared to go through it, but it was the best way and the shortcut to get through their destination. But what did they do? They went around it, man. And they went around it and over it, and they ended up falling into a bunch of troubles. Dory almost died and shit. So, but that shows you it's the same in this.
Yeah. Straight represents that's TRA. That's TRAIT, which means a path of difficulty.
Exactly.
Like in the Middle East, you got the Strait of Hormuz, right? Yeah. Only one ship can go through it. Also in what's that? Suez.
Yes,
Only one ship can go through there.
Stuck right now.
Yeah, when they got stuck.
Yeah.
It was the Evergreen boat. They got stuck.
Yeah,
In China, there's an Evergreen semi that's now stuck in the highway too.
Evergreen is ran by what's her name? Former VP or whatever she was, first lady or whatever. Yeah, that's her code name. That's the business she runs. All of her wickedness, and I don't get into her child, all of that. But yeah, so anyway.
I got a precept to go with. It's like similar, but sort of the opposite of what you read in Matthew 7:13. It's basically goes to in the family of the word. It's Luke 13:24. It says, "Strive to enter in at the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, who seek to enter in and shall not be able."
So I gotta make the Bruce Lee quote again, right? He said, "Don't pray to have an easy life. Pray to have that you have the strength to endure a hard mark. So you got to go through that straight gate. That straight gate is going to make you more, going to develop more character, going to give you more experience.
Purify.
It's going to purify you, like
Like how gold is trying to fire.
like a trial. Okay, you got to go through things.
And also, see, these people were laughing at the men of the Lord years ago, laughing and laughing. Now those laughing is turning to that curious look. You're starting to see everything that will be said happening.
Uncertainty.
That it's like because because the pastors and all whoever was your spiritual leaders or whoever you listened to and believed in, they were speaking against this.
Yeah.
Now Esau don't want to give no attention to the Hebrew Israelites unless he gets to the point where he has to really demonize them. Because if not, people are paying attention to it and they're seeing, and they're gonna be like, okay, now, I think I need to get involved with that. Let me finish it up. Verse 25 says, when once the master of the house is risen up and had shut the door, and ye begin to stand without and to knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. And he shall answer and say unto you, I never knew you. I know ye not whence ye are.
The same thing happened in the day of the Lord when they started beating on the ark trying to get in as they saw the water rising and falling from the sky. Okay, so when you see all these troubles coming upon you and you see the prophecies that come to pass, that's going to be you.
That's the time for the wicked to be in straits. The Lord's putting his men through straits right now, purifying us. So when that time of destruction comes, he can see on his men, okay, you're righteous now, right? I put you through, I chastise you. Now you're worthy to be protected and saved.
Those are the ones that cover, from the outside of blood. They have that covering. See, the whole nation of Israel is unclean and has to be cleansed. 1/3 in the elect, 144,000 go through a spiritual cleanse because that blood covers them. So they don't have to catch that physical cleanse. Which the 2/3, you're gonna have to take that physical cleanse. The 1/3 elect gonna go through the fire untouched and unscathed. But the 2/3, you're gonna have to be cleansed with that actual fire and come back.
That's the two baptisms.
Yep.
We're going through the spiritual baptism by the water and by the fire, which is the adversity, persecution,
trials,
tribulation.
And the word, the fire, they're going to have to go through real fire.
You're gonna have to endure it.
So like, because you back up the total interesting and tying in what we just said is John 17 and 15. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world.
So why do you see So why do you see the difference? I should say this way. So you should be able to see the difference between a man of the Lord, the way he conducts himself, not necessarily with the look of the eye, but how he conducts himself, versus the way that people of the world conduct themselves. Okay, it's not an age group thing.
The integrity and the humility that he shows.
Exactly. The integrity, that's the word. Wow. The integrity that he shows when dealing in situations that can go either way. Because most of you people are dealing with integrity. You don't care anything further than about than getting the goal that you personally want to accomplish. You don't care about how people view you beyond that moment.
They got that, whatever it takes type of spirit where, to get whatever it is,
It
That's
brings
why
us to this.
That's why Jake sells out.
I was just gonna say that's why this
That's why he sells out.
video like a little Nas X. This is the hot topic of the day now. That somebody like that, because the list of people that sell out it goes on and on. But particularly this guy, has no problem selling his soul to do music videos, twerking, and giving lap dances to Satan, and then putting this crown on his head, and so on and so forth. Making out with Eve and shit with the serpent and like the video he did, what's it called, Montero, that shit is on a whole nother wicked level. Okay, saying that he wants to be called by Satan's name, man. That he wants that ownership on him. But that's the mentality that you Jakes have, man. He even went followed up with Nike creating the Air Max, an Air Max.
The 97.
The Air Max was the 97, right? The hottest ones, the Air Max 97s, that have blood inside the air pockets and shit, man. With the damn pentagram right on the toe, on the laces.
And then they put a scripture on it.
And a scripture.
Yeah, Luke 10 and 18.
Yeah, how many blood members that are becoming Israelites are gonna wear those?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
becoming a new creature.
It's only 600.
Yeah, there's only
pairs.
666 pairs.
They're pushing this devil's
Man,
brand. They're pushing his mark. His they pushing his vibration.
mm-hmm.
Jake is they're showing their true allegiance to the beast right now.
Yeah.
They're making it known what side they're with.
Right.
Yeah, you got people on the comment board, under those particular shoes that bro was talking about. They say, "Oh, Jesus gonna come back," and you calling on Jesus,
Yeah.
you on the side of Satan.
You all
Right.
You know, there's different levels. Different levels to this, man. You know, there's different levels of worshiping Satan. If you calling on Jesus, in Christianity,
It is
it's
knowing
all
and
Satan.
it's all
unknown.
Satan. Man.
It's whether you know it consciously that that's not his name, or if you believe that's his name. Either way, what's your intent of who you're calling upon? Okay? But most people, that's why sometimes for edification's sake, we'll just use the words Messiah or the Lord, right? But you guys don't understand, when you keep using that vibration, it ties right into the same satanic vibration. You think Jesus is going to push the mark of the beast? It's going to be pushed in all these church houses. The Catholic Church is already, the Pope really said, we need a new world order. The guy that's supposed to be in charge of the world's religion is talking about taking the market. We need a mark of the beast for everybody out there. He didn't say that, but 95 these chicks for this new world order.
And then he also telling homosexuals that the Most High love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
This is the same agenda. Is this separate? Is this a holy entity out
He's a
there?
hypocrite though, because he said, he said in the same sentence, he said, the Most High loves them, but homos,
You
but
can't bless their
you can't bless their union.
The Lord doesn't bless sin.
It's
It's sin and not the
Yeah,
sinner, right?
so what side you want? Bro?
Yeah.
That's confusion.
But this is the tactic they've been using since the Roman Catholic got into power. They've been playing both sides. You got it, brother. They've been playing both sides to give both sides control, the controlled opposition thing. You got it, bro.
Jumping back to 2 Corinthians 5 and 11. One land also ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, no.
Real talk.
Yeah.
There's no righteousness here. I mean, outside of the word, the truth, the church. Outside of that, man, hell no.
As a whole, as a nation, there's nothing's established in righteousness. There's no land where you can be like, oh, you can go there and that land is righteous.
Right.
And you got poverty people pursuing it, but the Most High looks at things as right, as a whole, as a man, as a nation.
And then also, you got through the process of eliminating things. You look at the like the brother Shaquan was saying. Shaquan was saying that you that this guy is supposed to be set up as the face of all religion or spiritual.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
He's supposed to
They
be
call
what
him
the
Father.
spirit on. That's what they say.
of kind.
So, but that means you're supposed to be hated. Because the scripture says they hate him who rebuke it in the gate.
You're supposed
You
to be
should be
correcting
rebuking.
the ways of the world.
Exactly.
The Lord
It's,
says
it's more wicked out there than anything right than righteous. That's why the Most High have a controversy with the inhabitants of the earth in Hosea 4:1. Because there's no not. You're supposed to be the Pope is supposed to be exposing things. He's supposed to be having life threats, and he's supposed to be making attempts on him, and like they was making attempts on the disciples and the men of the Lord.
quick
When
scripture.
it looks like that.
Quick scripture. Luke 6:26.
Yeah.
Woe to you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets.
So let me get
Woe
this
be
one.
destruction.
So what did I do?
And they speak well. Don't they speak well of the Pope? Yeah.
Like the brother said, they call him father.
He goes all around the world. They shut the city down. You know, he has all the security. You know,
Hey,
but it's supposed to.
and this so-called pandemic exposing
Yeah.
Roman Catholicism and Christianity.
Yeah.
Why are y'all standing behind sorcery? What happened to you being able to lay your hands on members and heal them?
Yeah.
We used to looking at church, looking at secular Christianity on TV. All you saw was Catholic priests and pastors. You know, they would always show segments of when they would have people that was ill or have some type of ailment, and they would come up to the front, and then the pastor would do some prayer, and then put this cloth on you,
the hand,
and you put you anoint you, put some holy spirit, some holy water on you, yeah, and then all of a sudden, that person comes back with a testimony. I've been healed in the name of Jesus. What happened to all that? Now all of a sudden, oh no.
They can't heal.
Take the vaccine. That's the salvation.
That's the blue laying of the hand.
Yeah.
They're gonna lay hands on you to keep you back.
They're not trusting spirituality no more. They're trusting science. Remember Kenneth Copeland supposed to be that other guy. Now. I blow with the wind of God. I blow away the COVID. He really blew his lips like that, and it has gone rampant ever since he said it.
This is big COVID got worse.
It got worse.
Ever since
And it's been a decrease in COVID cases in Texas. And they lifted the mask mandate.
What happened with that?
and everybody who's so-called passed away in COVID, weren't they wearing masks?
Yeah.
Anybody got it?
Everybody
Been bad
has
for
a mask.
I got a quick precept. 1 Corinthians 4:13. Being the thing we entreat, we are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscouring of all things unto this day.
I got no one.
God, hey, like Yahweh Shai, he was despised among his people. If you are a man of the Lord, you're going to be despised. The Lord said, if the world hates you, know that it is. They hated me first.
They didn't hate me, but they hated he who sent me.
They hated for his name.
Yep.
And he said, why? Because I testified thereof that the works are evil. You would be speaking out, man.
In Isaiah 58:1.
Cry loud,
spare not.
Just
voice like a
just being an Israelite man, you're despised. As being an Israelite man of the Lord, like, it's worse.
That's far away. Because you're already despised amongst the other nations, but you're gonna be despised against your own people.
Kind, like you were saying too, with the Isaiah 58, the last part of the precept, it says, "Show my people Israel their transgressions, and I'll see Jacob their sins." Which means what? Hey, us showing Jacob they going off. Hey, they gonna hate it. You know, they're gonna hate us, man.
That's what made it a daunting task, because that's the scriptures say you present your body a living sacrifice. What are you sacrificing? You sacrificing your freedom. You're sacrificing your livelihood. Because you could be followed. You know, anything can happen. You can get anything can happen. You're being out there on the face, putting your life on the line. Because anybody, you can just be reading what the scriptures saying, that if a mob of homos want to come run up on you, then you got to deal with that.
And they're giving all this immunity and all this power.
They can't even do it. They can't even do it.
It's getting to a point where if they roll up on you and they see, they want to try it with you. If you even take it there, that might be a hate crime. That's a hate crime. It actually is a hate crime.
They are.
So you got to denounce their advances.
You
like
gotta
very polite. Like you gotta kind of like.
You can't be a man.
You can't be masculine with it.
Even if you get in a fight with a mo, and they're the aggressor, and you're defending yourself, it's still considered a hate crime because they're mo.
See?
And then also they got so much power. They're going around talking about if Jake's wanted reparations, get the LBGT all the way to Z. They always add some damn letter to their whole to their entitlement. Get them to do it. They get things done. Yeah. Every time you look up, we got X house. We can't call them this. We can't call them that. We can't say this. We can't address them a certain way. We can't speak to them in any type of like a man. You gotta speak to them soft spoken. While they get get to raise their voice and be all emotional and feminine.
And you the one that
You can't be aggressive.
Hit that one.
This Matthew 5 and number 10. Yeah, they read, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven."
Yeah, for doing right and knowing what's balanced and what the Most High ordained to be what we should be following after in the earth. For declaring that's looked at as hate. Brother made a quote a while back saying, "Truth is the new hate speech." You can't tell nobody the truth.
Who was it that said it? Was it George Orwell that said it? He said at
Yeah.
the time of universal deceit, to speak truth is a revolutionary act.
Yeah, revolutionary act. Yeah.
That's prophesied loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a smooth thing.
Yeah, bro.
Verse 11, "Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you,
This could be the Pope as we were saying a moment ago.
and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you."
And then you go to just to quote it, Jeremiah 3rd chapter. It says, "I will give you pastors according to mine heart, that shall feed you with knowledge and understanding," which is what we do.
Even going into Isaiah 30 and 20. You know?
And the reason Jay can't get it because it's coming from us. Like
Yeah.
if the Pope was up there telling you to repent, you're an Israelite, the name of the Lord is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai, Jay could be right along with we be in the kingdom.
You beat it.
You know, but it's you have men that are telling you to repent that look just like you, come from the same neighborhoods, but you looking at us like niggas, like we don't, the words that we speaking to you they don't hold any value because we don't have any theological seminary degrees and we're not highly regarded in this society.
Poor man's wisdom is despised.
They treat us like gangbanging, drug dealing killers out there.
Yeah.
That's the respect. They give them more respect than they give righteous men. They're trying to pull them out of the damn fire.
We're giving Israel that warning, but eventually they're gonna have to deal with the Most High in summer because we're not gonna get through to 2/3 of our people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it said they shall be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. Because they're gonna think that the men that are going to saved.
The next line that says, you know what I'm talking about. This is he who we had sometimes.
Yeah, that's talking about Esau, but our people are as well.
Yeah.
Like these church pastors gonna be wondering why we get delivered and saved in their life.
Well, they're
gonna want to know why we know all this knowledge and we didn't go to the same schools that they went to. We're just out on the street corner. Until it's some of them, some of the Christian pastors out there.
Okay, kind of sees that like
nobody understands.
He's like I think it was Priest Don Yalla. He called him Glass. What's the name of the dude on the Mike Tyson?
Glass Joe.
Glass Joe. He's like the Glass Joe for the Israelites.
Yeah.
He's a punching bag. Yeah. He's easy work.
Yeah.
But this guy that went through theological seminary and got all these, all this prestige and
writing books and shit.
Yeah, he got all these books,
taking praise with all these scholars.
But he's spiritually getting told back from brothers.
Brothers
that have been in this thing a year, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's life getting packed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What that scripture, if I sent you to any other nation, they wouldn't receive you. So that's how you know that it's us. Because anyone else would listen, to their own people. That's why the scripture talks about the wise men of Peter. Where are they? Everyone, they missed Steve Jobs.
Yeah. What's the product do? Stephen Hawking. Yeah, they love that guy.
Can't tell him nothing.
Yeah, they lost all their
It goes back to when a rich man speaketh, they extol him to the clouds. When a poor man speak, they overthrow him.
Yeah, look at Trump. The richest idiot on the planet. And he's not even that wealthy. He's in so much debt, bouncing money around between different credit accounts. And people will follow after him, and you got people still believing he's the president.
Yeah. So he's about to be the president any day now.
Right.
Be the president of Texas.
And
Texas
Florida.
gonna break out.
And Florida.
You're trying to
Can't be the
succeed.
governor of Florida.
You know, I got something. We never got to it. Second Ezra chapter 15 and 4, start at 4. It says, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, and sword, famine, death, and destruction." Here's the point: for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, says
Exceeding.
yeah,
Exceeding.
over them.
Yeah.
Was it the sin? One was it the facts?
Oh, no, Joel 3.
Joel 3. Yeah.
Fats overflow. You know, the harvest
Is
is right.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, this is the perfect time for Yahweh to come back and set the world back in righteousness. And we're not at the height of its wickedness either, by the way.
No,
But we're close.
Still more. You know.
We're close, but there's still a lot of wickedness. The depth that we've been talking about has got to get even more. There's going to be a clear difference between, like it was in ancient Egypt, between the Egyptians and the Israelites. There'll be a clear difference between the men of the Lord and anybody else on the planet.
Because the wickedness hasn't hit the whole world yet. You know, if the wickedness is out there, but people that don't go out every day, but when you go out and you start seeing, like, you know, men in women's bathrooms dressed in, you know, and vice versa, it's gonna bug you out. You know, people are gonna either, like you were saying, have to pick sides. Like, this shit is bugged out, or okay, let me just go along with it.
Yeah.
And then that's just, you know,
Bro, Michelle Obama, she just she had a little Netflix little
documentary,
show, and she was using a little a puppet sidekick to kick that homosexuality shit to children.
Yeah.
And they want it when introduced back in the schools when they let the kids back in.
Yeah.
Is it what, bro?
They want
to put that in the school system.
Oh, yeah.
Let the kids back
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
So they're training up the children for the New World Order.
Yeah.
And
They're
Michelle Obama,
grooming and indicting them for that particular, you know,
and
where children won't have any morals, you know.
They're not being taught right from wrong.
Yeah.
They're just being taught the way, the way that Esau wants to.
The liberal way, man. They know if they taught this way as a child, when that child becomes grown, they won't give you no pushback.
Yeah.
There'll be no resistance. Because they've been all their way growing up and accepting this stuff.
Yeah, they got. We've seen that, right? They got gay Captain America. Is that the comic book? It's not a movie. It's just a comic, right?
well, you know, the movie's gonna come
The
next.
movie's probably in the works now.
Yeah.
And all these different
Making everything gay.
sects
Everything.
have a following. Like Captain America, they have a following. Michelle Obama, they have a following. So that following is going to have to make a choice eventually, you know. And a majority of them that you know, we say this word, religiously follow them, they're going to just submit to that wickedness, you know.
Yep.
Because all they got a following, so they just enhance their platform.
Yeah.
Give them more platforms.
More views and, you know, more specials on Netflix and, you know, Amazon Prime.
While anybody else that's speaking out against it, you're getting counseled.
Yeah.
Right.
Silence.
Well, we can't say nothing about the CHIP, the JAB,
No.
the
Hey,
C19.
Hey, these women, like these women, they can say what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
If you a male, and you're heterosexual, you ain't got no platform to stand on. You can't say a damn thing.
Even if we identify as super straight, you know, remember that thing, right?
Yeah.
Even if you identify as super straight, you still have no voice.
Yeah, because being super straight is a hate crime.
So, hey, come on.
Yeah.
These animals can do whatever they want. But for us to for a man, like the righteous way, that's just wicked.
The natural way.
They call it good evil and evil good.
Bro.
But you wonder why the elites are targeting. They're targeting our masculinity, is because Esau, he's not a dummy. He knows with empires, the men, it starts with men rising to take down an empire. So if he can manipulate and seduce as many men as he can to turn them into moles,
Yeah.
that'll at least, make it uneven to where,
Yeah.
he ain't got to worry about too much resistance.
Yeah.
And this is also part of depopulation. This is basically eugenics.
And then also giving the men that would have power over to women.
Yep.
Their emotions.
Yep.
And it can be easy to control.
Hey, that same shit get an advantage of us when we're not ignorant of his devices.
Right.
But we see exactly, and the scriptures tell us, remember to show yourselves men.
Yeah.
Gird up
It's
thyself.
gird up thyself now like a man. The rising up of Israel starting with the men. All right, Yahweh, we got the divine order, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, the man, and then the woman.
We say raise up the tent of Judah first.
Yep.
And who's being attacked with this most shit the most? Judah.
Judah.
You got the whole thing down in Atlanta, especially with this little Nas X character.
Oh,
You know?
in the Northern Kingdom, you got that nigga Bad Bunny. He
Yeah.
doing the same shit.
Yeah.
He doing the same shit, bro.
Yeah.
So I watched the Spanish channels.
I know you're talking about.
And they promote nothing but most stuff,
Yeah.
They got Mo's up in there doing hair.
Yeah.
That,
growing up, you think of Issachar, you think of like macho type of Jakes, he saw them put everything upside down.
the woman runs the house now.
Yeah.
She has the last say.
That was true. They did a DNA study and found that the Northern Kingdom had more testosterone than any other male on the planet. And that just goes back to that work ethic. And, so, but yeah, like what I was saying, it's leading. You see it in the promotion and in the whitewashing. When I was growing up, my grandmother would always tell me how lucky I was that I wasn't dark like my dad, because I get to avoid a lot of things, a lot of situations. So that was kind of like the mindset for a lot of Latins, was that you didn't want your kids to be dark skinned. You wanted to, get with someone with lighter skin and light,
So they can have
the privileges.
Yeah, and also the right privilege.
Dark skin. It's ironic you mentioned that. The testosterone wasn't being challenged in the Northern Kingdom household like it is in the Southern Kingdom. The Southern Kingdom always had to fight for power in the household with his woman, who's supposed to be in a union with him, supposed to be at one with him, always arguing, always fighting. Don't want to come in the house right away. Want to hit the bar before you go home. But he had to get himself prepared to come home and deal with her shit.
Yeah.
Because Southern Kingdom women was always at his neck, always at his head.
That's on the plantation.
Yeah, kind of.
Go on an 18-year beer grocery run. Leaving never, I ain't dealing with it. Give up in the hell with it. Like,
We'll get a newspaper, I'll be back.
yeah, I'm gonna get the kids something and he's gone. So his testosterone was constantly always being challenged. But in the Northern Kingdom household, they have more order. They would tend to cater to the men. In the Northern Kingdom household, like stay out the kitchen. I'm in here, go down, they would serve them, they would fix their plate, things like that.
But
He was allowed to express himself as a man in the Northern Kingdom household.
you said the most important word was.
Yeah.
So the all Jake is going through it now, though.
I gotta put that too. Oh, yeah, go for it. So,
Yeah, this is Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
That's why they made the strong men with all the testosterone. They have to weaken you.
Yeah, violence.
And then
Violence slavery.
and then also giving the women
Rights.
giving them
Like,
government assistance without the man being in the house. That's why you break in the house.
they would.
She would make her kick him out, so she could get those, Section 8. She can get welfare.
That's the only way that she could get it.
She can get it, yeah.
But she, what's messed up is she would have to put that man down, put his name down or social or whatever. Because the elder, when I was talking about this, did a lesson on a wicked ass nigga woman that she had put a man down as as the wrong man
Yeah,
on the birth certificate of her child, so just so she can get assistance, and yeah, he's paying child support, or he's had, or they, they wanted to pay child support on a child that's not his, and that's okay in Esau society. In Esau, the judges clearly see it's wrong, but they say, yeah.
Well, I remember growing up, my aunts and them, they would have to lie to the welfare. Talking about the dad was in the house just so they could receive the benefits, and then they would come and check the house.
Yeah,
and they would have to have all the
they have to hide the man's stuff. Yeah, they can, cause they'll check and see if a man's living here, they're gonna know.
Yeah, they'll take away the benefits.
Inspection.
The whole thing with women's rights and women's liberation. When they went into it, the women of that time, they didn't even want it.
Yep.
They didn't want to be liberated. So all this feminism that's going on now, these women that are, they want to be, they're calling everyone misogynistic and this and that. Well, what you're building on is something that the majority of women don't even want.
Yeah, so women don't want.
It's clearly not there.
Before Jake to begin with, that was for Esau.
It was founded on the lie. The lie is perpetuated.
Yep.
And so that's the topic is everything's getting worse and worse. And so what was written before time for our verdict is for us to know now. But the reassurance for being in this truth is that you're going to be in the fire, but it's not going to burn you. You're going to be in the storm and the flood, but you're not going to drown.
Yep.
You're going to be amongst all this evil, but you will be protected.
So, to bring the point out back with the creed that you brought out of Montezat, another form of binding is castration, man. You know what I mean? What? Cutting off a man's or the male's
Members.
his members, man. Because what? That takes away that fight. And Jake has been spiritually castrated.
Yes.
Totally emasculated.
Bro.
Getting publicly humiliated. And that intimidates other Jakes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Esau does. It's like a fucking ritual.
They kind of did that with the whole Willie Lynch, the buck break.
Yeah.
Demasculating the men. And they're trying to do it even at a higher level today. Like everything that we're going into, like woman rolling over the man.
You're taking opportunities away from Jake. So that they look like, if they do got a woman, the woman starts to look down on them.
And
because they see all these other men getting these opportunities, and Jake ain't getting these opportunities.
And they love to put of course, they love to put the woman ahead above the man, but they love to, have that independent woman making more than her man. So she could be the breadwinner. Yeah, exactly. So she could be the breadwinner.
And be empowered.
And she should be the head of the house.
Yeah.
That's why
what can he say in his own house?
That's why I say in Sirach, 25, 26 chapter, if a woman maintain her husband, she become impudent,
full of anger,
and reproach.
And much reproach.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's unhappy.
Yeah.
That's
really what they asked for.
It also talks about nothing better than a woman that's well instructed. If I want to say, it says she fattened tongues. And he can be at rest in his house, but it's not at war.
Even if he does make more money than him, that money's supposed to go to him.
Right.
Hey,
because he got certain women like what's her name? Monique. She makes way more money than her.
Yeah, but she don't
she
put
gives
her
him all the power.
Yeah.
She says he's the head of he's the head of our house. He controls everything.
It's a lot. Speaking since you mentioned Monique and the brother mentioned integrity, I saw a clip talking about how integrity is not in the community anymore. And there was an interview with Muhammad Ali, and the guy was asking him about something because he was being himself, told him, "Look, I could only gotten all this stuff, but what's the point of that when I know that my people are struggling? I should be able to live amongst them, operate amongst them, and support the business and all that." And then the quick cut to Monique and Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey was trying to,
get her to sell up.
So he was trying to lead the direction the type of way, and she said, no, it's about integrity. There's no more integrity. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's what's hard to find. Because Monique, she's like a B-list, C-list actress.
Comedian.
Yeah, you know, she's always, you know, you'll find her on, what do you call it? You know, subpar movies, so-called. Right?
Straight to video.
Right.
Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7, I'm going to read down. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. But the liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Verse 9, rise up, you women that are at ease. Because you women are at ease because the devil, Esau, you know, basically put them lying words in about liberalism. You know?
They gave him the opportunity to feel empowered because of the society and the structure. But the society and the structure broke down.
Power stripped.
Right. If the power grid is gone, you know, the water plants are gone. How many women do you have in all of these? Because they can go get those same jobs. Right? But how many of these women are actually fighting to get into those places at an equal number? So if society did collapse, it's like, look, it's okay, we can help too. We're not doing it.
Remember that video with Ken Simmons said, right?
Yeah.
He said, how long would it take for women to destroy the world if they didn't have what men have already put into existence, for them to just follow the guidelines of what men did? If they had to start over from what men have already established, how long would it last? It wouldn't last long at all.
They in the civilization.
They couldn't do it back up.
Yeah, drop a kit car outside right now, and then all the women in a 5-mile radius come to fix it. How long is it going to take them? You know, you got everything. You got the body, the act, you got everything. It's a whole kit. Yep. And started. Gather up a bunch of women, drop them off in the desert with power equipment, tools, all the materials they'll ever need, and see how long they get that civilization
in 2 weeks of water.
Yeah,
He won't make it out.
He asked a woman. He asked her. He said, "Where would you get your water?"
Yeah.
She said the ocean. You're like, see, right there, you already disqualified. You would kill everybody.
She said something like storing food in one of the jugs.
No. They were talking about survival show. It said off the top,
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls,
Second
the show.
season.
It said the first thing the women did in that Survivor Island was when they took they poured the water out and then they stored it with something else in there. It's like, what the hell are you doing? For food. Like, what are you doing? You're gonna run out of food and out of water. You know, like basically showing you that but this is what's upheld in this land.
The scriptures tell you that Job 39, they've been deprived of wisdom.
So everybody has like no, just want to say everybody has their role on the earth, and when you get out, that's what's happening. The world is out of course. When you take everybody out of their natural roles in the earth, things get messed up. Not knowing the devil's the devil has got the world messed up. Not knowing the place of women has got the world messed up. Men not standing up in where they should be has got the world messed up. And since we're standing up now as men of righteousness, because what it say, fear the Lord and keep His commandments, that's the whole duty of man. Since we're doing that and trying to keep the ordinances of the world that the Most High set up, hey, we're getting demonized. That's destroying the world, okay? Because things are not in the proper order.
Yeah. Verse 9. Rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled, you careless women. For the benches shall fail, the benches shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, you women that are at ease, be troubled, you careless ones. Strip ye and make ye bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats and for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine.
You know, what was mentioned in the 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, that the fountain would stop working in 3 hours. So, you know, everything's running out, these women are at ease. So what are they going to do when everything hits zero? Like, how are they going to build back up? What are they going to do?
What's that independent woman that don't need a man, lives by herself, you know, lives in the city, you know, what is she gonna do? You know, when it's the purge, outside her door.
She's gonna lament, bro, because she let Esau trick her into substituting family for independence.
Yeah,
A career.
a career, yeah. I'm a career woman. I don't need a man. You know,
I got
she ain't gonna work.
It's Micah 7:10.
Oh, yeah.
Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? My eyes shall behold it. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets.
And another thing that's being rampant is the output of more independent women films. You know, because that's part of the veil that's been over the women of our nation's faces, man. And so when these movies like your Wonder Womans, your Black Widows, and things are coming out, it's giving you that mindset, oh, that you unstoppable. It's one woman beating a group of 15 men ass, and they got guns.
Hey, but in reality, what's actually happening in real fights when these transgenders go into these MMA arenas and fighting women, he's bashing skulls and
Breaking into them, bro.
breaking people out, man. That's the reality of it. That's not fantasy like they're putting the vibration on these.
And we say this, we don't condone beating on no woman, but if a woman wants to get in that arena as a man, you're gonna suffer the consequences.
Yeah, that's just not wise
it's not,
to be fighting grown ass men like that. Okay, they got that wrong.
I wait for Esau to start putting trans women inmates into female prisons.
Oh,
Who's that? The show of Warriors of the New Black.
Yep.
And the dude wanted to be a chick the whole time in there.
Yeah, that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
So I'll fight with him and then.
I got something. Yeah, I got something. This is Isaiah. You was going to do? Okay, Isaiah 13, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid, and pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman in travail. They shall be amazed. One shall be as, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Tying into what you were saying, when society breaks down, where are you gonna stand at? Are you still gonna stand in your independency? Like you don't need no man, or you gonna fall in line in the proper order that you may be rescued out of all of this? So we know that answer.
And that's why the scriptures are, it should be your root, man. Hey, because with the understanding the wisdom of Yahweh Shai, you understand that nobody is independent, man.
Right.
You know, we all depend on Yahweh Shai. You know, that's why in the order of 1 Corinthians 11, it has Yahweh at the top and Yahweh Shai after him, man.
Yahweh Shai needs the Most High.
Kind.
Yeah.
That's not the only independent.
Yeah.
Kind, bro.
That's it.
You know, like the scripture tell you, he stand alone.
Yeah.
That's the truth right there.
So there's no God with him.
Yeah. Verse,
He had no beginning and no end.
verse 11, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
Yep.
And the witchcraft in these movies are really building up the pride in the earth, man. You know, I'm gonna just leave it at that. It says, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. The next verse goes directly into it. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Now here's the crazy.
That's
There you go.
that was Kevin Samuels is yeah.
And you carry yourself a certain way, you make a lot of money.
That's gain is godliness mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Prosperity doctrine.
Real high earners is those earners spiritual treasure.
Because the money here, like the scriptures tell you, is going to be cankered, destroyed, and given over to the elect. So what's the point of gathering something that's not going to be yours anyway? You know,
And riches profit not in the day of destruction.
That's right.
You know, you're not your value ain't gonna be attaining to, you know, how much, you know, greenbacks you got stored up in the safe. That's not gonna buy you out of what's getting ready to happen.
Prime example is what happened last year during C-19, right?
Mm-hmm.
People lost, you know, millions, $100,000 of their savings, their 401ks. You know, all these people that had these monies in these businesses, It was their ass out till they got bailed out. So they got a PPP loan. But when the time of wrath comes, when judgment's coming down, ain't gonna be no PPP loan. Ain't gonna be Esau to bail you out. Ain't gonna be no stimulus. You know, all those bridges that you had, they could be taken away just like that. And last year was a prime example of how you had people who had businesses and they was booming. You know, beginning of the year, they was popping. They was making plans, and next thing you know, they don't got no employees. You know, they waiting on unemployment. You know, it was jacked up. It just shows you how putting your heart and your into this place and working and trying to build an empire here or whatever, it ain't working. Man, just do get your daily bread, okay, and the Most High throw your bone here and there, but you know, F this place, man.
You got to detach yourself. Yeah. Scripture said, the day of battle be even as pilgrims on earth.
Yep.
You know, so you can't really be detached to this anyway. Yep. A high value man, he's gonna be valued by the spirit that he's in, right, bro? The wisdom that he's able to apply in his life. Not monetary or tangible possessions.
Let's go to verses real quick. Verse 14, and it shall be as the chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one to his own land. Yeah. Every one that is found shall
boy, I need to get the hell up out of here. Yeah, he need to get his ass on out of here. You might as well.
You ain't in this battle, man. Go
might as well.
Hit the sideline, man.
Live it up, and while you can, because your ass is going in the slavery too.
Yeah, that's it. So everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
And that's the Lord is making a separation here.
Yes, sir.
You want to follow this devil, this beast. You want to serve this beast.
Go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You want to get his little potion. You know. You want him to alter your.
You trust his medicine.
DNA. You trust the science. You want to fight his military. You believe in all this. Sleepy, Trippy Joe. That's your king.
That tripped me out when you see a Moabite police officer or Moabite in the military. Like, what are you doing?
It's bothering y'all.
Yeah.
There was a politician. I can't remember, what committee, if it was local or what, but he's older in age, and he stood up and lifted up his, unbuttoned his shirt, lifted his shirt, he was all scarred up and beat up, And it was like, man, why am I still treated like I didn't fight and, almost die for this country?
Yeah.
In the room was silent, but it's like, no one can see through your shirt. Like, you're not wearing a sign, like, you're not well known, and people know what you actually sacrificed. At the end of the day, you're still stigmatized like the rest of us.
Yeah. No better treatment. It says, verse 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished.
What are you independent women going to do? Hey, that's prophecy. That's going to happen. It's going to happen more than once sometime.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Oh, it's going to happen.
It's a one-time deal.
Yeah, hell no.
Yeah, that's a generalized statement.
Yeah.
It's polarized. It's that
covers the whole planet.
Especially Babylon. If you're not under the watchful eye, I should say under the spirit, how about you all shy, then it's a wrap for you, man. You're gonna feel it, man. You're gonna feel what the earth had, what lawlessness in the earth is really all about. And that was
Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his ways.
And what are we talking about? Matter of fact, somebody hold is that Peter? What's the righteous of scarcity saved? Yeah, somebody hold on to that.
First Peter 4.
Yeah. Somebody hold on to it. I want to just make the point that people need to understand. If you're not being righteous and you're being wicked, there's no in between. If you think you're in between, you're on the left.
Correct. And then another thing, man, people think that they're gonna get a chance to stand and keep their cause to why they live where they live in front of the Most High.
No.
You're not gonna get to do that. and the judgment comes.
Kind of.
And
Yeah,
you living out your way of to give your reasons.
Yeah, that's your case.
This you state your case while you living.
Yeah.
there.
There's a way that seems right into them, man.
Yeah.
The way at the end there, the way
This is your chance now, you know, to repent. Because the prophets are out there to tell you to repent, to tell you the righteous ways to live, to, you know, to call on the Heavenly Father in the Son's name, you know. But like you say, it ain't gonna be a time where you can just, you know, well, I did this and this and this. The Most High is putting us out there to prophesy and to tell you to repent.
And they say that he's merciful. Like the brother Shafar was saying, that's his giving you mercy. By having his men out there to show you that he's about to destroy this place. He's about to bring judgment.
So the anger and
So the wrath.
so the wrath. Yeah.
It's a place of repentance was open to them.
Yeah.
That's the spirit I was right there.
The scriptures also say the Most High stretched forth his hand, but no man regarded him.
Right.
Yep.
And how do you do that, bro?
Come by the
Tell you,
prophets.
Wisdom cries in the
Go up
streets.
Yes,
He say, I'll return you my reproof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Basically, the man of the Lord is telling you.
It says
That's why he's stretching out his
Be
hand.
mindful of the scourge also.
Yeah.
I got that first Peter.
He started 17.
Yeah.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us,
So like that's an easy question to answer. Why is judgment beginning with us? Because of all the families of the earth, only we have as he known.
And what's
Well, we'll judge you.
Right.
Children.
And he's going to judge us, which is a sign to let you know that we are the Israelites.
Yeah.
So all these signs are being shown so that everything is made clear and plain upon table.
Kind
And we made a joke, well, not a joke, but we talked about how scarce, like the numbers of people dying are pretty slow, but it's been consistently knocking people off. The Most High, no matter what they felt, C-19, gunshot wounds, rappers, and knife battles, or whatever the hell is going on, people are still getting plucked off.
Yeah. I just read somewhere like 9 people got shot in Philly.
Bro,
They
they're
were
getting plucked off.
really good. Y'all about to be on shot. They make judgment every day.
Yeah.
You know, somebody is getting judged every day, man. Or it's like multiple thousands of people are getting judged every day.
Right.
Just because it's not happening in your city, don't mean that it's not coming to your city.
It's happening.
There's 7 people shot.
and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High?
You see, gospel means good news. So if it begins with the nation of Israel, if it begins with the believers and the teachers, you know, and then the trickle-down effect of the non-believers of the nation of Israel, and then all you other nations that deny the Most High, if it first starts with us, what's going to happen to the 2/3? You know, that's going to show you that hey, the Most High is that pissed.
Mm-hmm. And the good part is, the good news of it is that we will be saved, but we're going to scarcely be saved. So we're narrowly going to make it.
That's
What about you that's not going to make it? Yeah.
Verse 18, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Right. Where? Are they going to have a place in the heavens? Are they going to have a physical dominion on the earth? And Most High's got to beat them to power, put them in slavery, take them away from being a force in the earth, put them under subjection into the elect, 1/3. You know, where's the ungodly and sinner going to appear? They're going to be destroyed and subjected. So knowing, the wrath to come, like the scripture said, that we persuade men.
But therefore, knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. Yeah. We know the terror coming, man. And a lot of you people move on the earth, move like y'all don't know that terror is coming to the earth, man. So it's our job to push out there that terror is coming to the earth. If you don't get yourself right, I mean, if you don't get in under obedience of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, man, you're going to get jacked up.
I was gonna make a point. As I said, where should the ungodly and the sinner appear? Because the righteous shall scarcely be saved.
Yeah.
That means when the judgment comes, the righteous are gonna be saved by their righteousness. You, if that's wicked, you basically you were preserved for that moment. So the righteous, you ain't gonna be able to get in off the cusp of of the righteous.
Right.
You know, that the Lord's gonna make a separation. Let me get this quick precept. Is Ezekiel 14, and I'll start at verse 18. It says, "Though these three men were in it, as I live, saith the Lord power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughter, but they only shall be delivered themselves. Or if I send a pestilence into that land, or pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith the Lord power, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, they shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness."
So it's about your works, man. It's about your works. You know, those men are written for having good works, and they're back on earth proving those good works that they had.
And that's why.
So these men, they it's like they scarcely was preserved for their situation, and you know they made it out.
Yeah.
They all have a story.
For instance,
They all got a testimony.
like,
I was just gonna say that's why Paul says, "Boast not on another man's measure." You know,
also, I was going to say that Noah was able to save his three sons through his righteousness, but you gotta believe that his sons were righteous in their own mind also, because they would have more than likely got destroyed too. You know.
but you know, also prophecy for them to.
We get kind of prophecy, probably the earth, yeah.
Right. If you look at Job, and that's the exact opposite.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got to do with that.
Right.
Yep. Just solely him.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a quick one. Acts 14 and 22. To confirm the sons of the disciples, that's like the souls of the disciples, and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Man, getting in another way, man.
That's the
Straight there.
that's the brother just read in 1 Peter 4
Yep.
17.
Scarcely be
Scarcely
saved.
being saved.
Yep.
They had to go through much tribulation to scarcely be saved.
Yeah.
But when you read in Isaiah 66 and 15, it says that the slain of the Lord shall be many. So there's going to be people getting slain. You're not going to have that much tribulation. You're just going to get put to death. You're not going to make it. And then those that are righteous, that the Most High deemed blameless, they will, make it in there like, what I'm saying, scarcely make it in there. Meaning they're going to be scared in those times, but they're going to be constantly getting out of what they're getting, what they see themselves, whatever type of predicament they see themselves in.
Because the Lord got plagues coming. So famine, famine, that's a plague right there. It's gonna, that's gonna take out millions of people. And that's the worst kind of death, famine. Jeremiah said the dogs to tear, beasts of the field,
The second entrance, it also said, and those of you that escape the famine shall the sword destroy.
Sword.
So don't think that just because you escape one plague, that another plague ain't lined up for you. If you don't have those righteous works, hey, that leaves us in limbo, not limbo, but that leaves us on our own edge. Because as we get through these plagues, we don't know if we're going to preserve for another plague to take us out. So we got to stay on those good works, and believe you me, it needs to start now, in these times now, to start building up a reserve, because you're going to run through that reserve the heavier these plagues hit, man. But you're going to have the experience of it to guide you all the way through the end.
And you got pestilence.
When you still on something?
I was on Zephaniah 1, 14.
Yeah.
This Zephaniah 1 and 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hastens greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the prince cities and against the high towers.
And that's also going into when you read Thessalonians, the day of the day and the day of the night. Meaning thick darkness, you ain't gonna be able to see. Meaning basically you're not gonna have no spiritual guidance. You're not gonna know. That's why the scriptures talk about in Amos 5 and 18 that you may flee from a lion and run into a bear and go into a house and the serpent bites you. Meaning you're just gonna be navigated to a worse death. You escape one death, to go to meet a worse death.
You were ran from the gun and got smacked by a bus.
Yep, exactly. Or you, yeah, exactly. Like, it's you're basically, because you're not gonna know what to do. The Spirit is not gonna tell you go this way because safety's this way. It's gonna tell you to go this way because judgment is that way. So that's why it's talking about a day of darkness and gloominess. And it's dark and gloomy. You can't see what's ahead of you.
It's 17, and I'll bring distress upon men. He shall walk like blind men because they have sinned against Yahweh Shai, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
Like I'm saying, it's spiritual blindness. You're not gonna know what's ahead of you. You're gonna hear people. Oh, go down here. There's people gathering to help FEMA and all this other stuff. It's just gonna be a way for you to run dead into the destruction that's coming for you. It's like Final Destination on some real tip.
Time.
And let me use another TV show, right? The first season finale of The Walking Dead. They went through all the shit in season one to finally come to the last episode of that season to get to the CDC, and what we're waiting on them. The dude to blow him. No, the dude was gonna blow the building.
Oh yeah.
He was gonna blow him like this, but he kept asking questions. What's good if you continue going on for it? Fighting, you're only gonna run into more and more ways to be killed. You might as well just get on out of it, get rid of it now. But the idea for a righteous man is to seek to endure all these things to the end. That was it? Or that's it?
It is 18. Neither shall their silver nor their gold shall be able to. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath.
We're talking about. You set it out for what? What, like you guys said yesterday, what good is it for a man to gain the whole world but lose his own soul? It's not going to benefit you, okay? To try to hoard up money and to be on a certain level of status. But that's where our people's minds are. Well, I need to get this bread. I got to do this. Our people out there really doing the most bugged out ass shit right now, man. Carjacking people and just dumb shit, man. Catching cases of murder beats, dumb shit.
It says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh Shai's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
He got something to make that speedy riddance too, man. Just don't know.
Banners.
Man, y'all just don't get it yet, man. Y'all don't understand what the Lord is about to. Was that Greenland we were watching? When the missile was comets or whatever, when they would hit the earth off that area and consume it, but then that wind, man,
They didn't devour.
and they kept hitting, and they kept hitting in certain areas, burning up everything. Man. The Lord has a certain tool, if you will, set up for that, man. ICBM missiles, man. That's set up to use that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says in Zephaniah. That Greenland was a downplay on the power of the fire of the Most High is going to send, because it tells you that the tongue and the eyes are going to consume away in the whole.
Yeah.
Soft tissue,
Yeah.
the body's moisture, it's full of moisture. And, if you watch this anime you should check out, it's called Barefoot J. I've done seen on it before. But they animate the eyewitness accounts of how people were dissolving and shrinking and just being consumed away. What we should play after this? But it just shows you the power that's in the cover.
You remember that? I don't know if it was like a cartoon, but it was called the Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah.
It showed that same kind of simulation. Missile detonated, and then next thing you know, people walking. You just see, and you just see like their eyes and everything just melting. Like that's how it's gonna be.
Terminator 2 played it in slow motion.
Yep.
At the park scene over there.
Like there in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they have pictures and film of the shadows of people. The shadows.
Yeah, we did around that.
And that was an actual. That was like an atomic weapon,
Yeah, that
Think
was
about what a nuclear weapon. They're just gonna be.
Since those atomic bombs have been dropped, they were getting hydrogen, the H bombs, which was more deadly than those that they were talking around during the Cold War. But now there's nuclear. This is a whole. This is like they said the atom bomb is like is the
So
hydrogen
many
bomb.
metrotons or
That's
something
what I was
like
about to say. That the hydrogen bomb is like I don't know if it's 100 times the atom bomb, something like that, 10 times. It's something astronomical. But then the nuclear is like a million times the hydrogen. Don't
Kilotons.
yeah. Don't quote me on the figures, but I'm saying that the vastness of the of how much
Temperature.
it's exponentially greater.
The temperature of it is
The impact
burns so hot.
That goes into the Psalms where the Lord wet his sword. Basically, wet means to sharpen.
Right, yeah,
So
got
atomic, hydrogen,
Yeah.
nuclear, that's the Lord
Yeah,
wet his
man.
sword, man.
you got to be sharper and sharper. Now, say what you was saying.
Because the atomic bombs, when they drop, they destroy cities, but they didn't melt them.
Yeah.
This is gonna melt the elements.
Everything. Because it's created on that atom elemental level.
And just to matter back what y'all really saying, that's why it tells you in Ezekiel that the sword is furnished.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, sharp.
Yeah.
Notice that is, my soul shall be bathed in heaven.
Yep.
It shall come down upon our gloom.
I got a piece of it.
You got
This is 2 Corinthians 16, and just read from the other scripture.
Yep.
Our people pay no attention to all this detrimental things coming to earth. They just see it and be like, oh, what is that? A UFO? Oh my God. Really? What do you think? This is dumb shit.
Somebody check the connection.
I didn't see no
I
motion.
just saw some saying it's reconnected.
Verse 21. Victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
Yeah.
For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Yeah.
And that just accumulates everything the brothers have been saying for the past couple of minutes. Look, you're going to run from something, but hey, the sword is straight for you.
Yeah.
You know, everyone thinks that they're in a good case because you can buy things for cheap on Amazon, Etsy, Wish, DHgate, eBay. You have all these platforms. You're buying all these cute tops and jewelry accessories, and it's not going to deliver you
If you said, and the scripture says that those scourges are sent for an amendment. I got dictionary.com to look at the word amendment. It says the act of amending or the state of being amended. Let me jump to the third definition. A change made by correction, addition or deletion.
So like the same thing that I said about Solomon and Gomorrah, that this was for an example.
Yeah.
But the people just like them, they didn't learn, and Ezra was reiterating that. They still don't consider, and that goes into the mindset, which was also stated in Ecclesiastes that because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts and minds of the sons of men is fully set in them to believe. So, I mean, like,
Also,
like the Most High, he told us everything from the beginning to the end. This is how it's going to go, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. But so that few,
Jeremiah 51:1 says, "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind." And so
How is it so important? How do we go from talking about the difference between the righteous and the unrighteous, so to speak, to talk about missiles? Because through the terrors of the Lord, we persuade men. We're trying to persuade you. Don't get caught up in this missile fire, man, and all these perils that are coming to the earth. Because they sit there to destroy you people, man, that don't want to get right. Those are just hard-headed, badass kids. Y'all gonna catch it, man. The Heavenly Father sent us to tell you a message about cleaning yourself up and acting accordingly But what are you people doing? You people are increasing more and more and more in the wickedness. What you about to say?
I was gonna say, like the most like them dealing for ways: death, destruction, famine, and the sword. Right? That's like a boxer getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? We get 12 whole rounds getting the snot beat out of them, but then in the 12th round, you actually get knocked out.
Yep.
So all the stuff that's going to be happening leading up to famine, the pestilence, the apparitions, the newly created creature. You get through all that to eat a missile, you got knocked down in the 12th round. That's it. Like,
I'll read
See,
something.
in the Lord, because he's so long suffering,
Yep.
he allows this to happen just so you can see that he's going to be justified in doing what he's going to do.
Yeah,
Pharaoh.
right. Yeah.
Pharaoh.
No cloak for your sins, man.
Right.
And the Lord been constantly, trying to, reason with you. He's been sticking his hand out because, like it tells you in Second Peter, he's not willing that all should perish. Why would you die, O Israel? Like it's like death. Jake got a death wish. You got a chance to actually, come into eternal life, but you're still choosing death.
Yeah.
You know.
And a lot of people don't believe in the food crisis because what's happening is the FDA is allowing for a lot of fast food companies to list their ingredients falsely and incorrectly because the Food and Drug Administration allows for margins of basically errors. There's you can eat so much, this chemical can be found in your food or whatever. So you have a lot of fast food that you think you're eating healthy now, but now it's an all beef patty for sure, and all this stuff. But the FDA is allowing them to actually put that on like a mask, and then they come in with some other chemical or other preservative or whatever because there's less food. But they don't want to lead you onto it. They're making things look healthier, playing with calorie counts and all this other stuff, and saying, "Oh, it's okay." And, coming up with this 2,000 calorie diet plan. So people think that they're in a good estate. Things are cheap to buy. Food seems everywhere. You can live off of $5 meals forever. Another mentality, and it's the furthest thing from the truth.
Kind. And that's why you read that it said, "Little shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they should think they will be in good case."
Yeah.
That's exactly the same thing. They're so full of this decadent spirit that they don't understand the troubles that's right around the corner.
I want to read this real quick because you're talking about the missiles, and I was looking up something on nuclear missiles. It said nuclear bombs are targeted for maximum collateral damage, including the population. If you weren't fortunate enough to be vaporized,
Oh.
if you were fortunate enough to be vaporized, you 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 get to be flung around like a rag doll, irritated to the point of dying a horrible death and burned alive.
Yeah.
It's like burning in a car crash.
Yeah.
You get thrown around like a rag doll to where your organs and your blood. That's why this human body, we can't. When they were testing with hypersonic speed and stuff, they're coming to stop soul. Literally coming through, to their face. Are moving at the speed of light, sound. Man, you have to have a spiritual body, man.
Yeah.
You would literally just collapse and fall and die like a rag doll.
Yeah.
and
And that's
also,
what the brothers are describing in the article. You're going to be flung about, with a force, and then you're just going to be on fire.
If you're not fortunate enough to be
Vaporized.
Yeah. Woo. I don't know.
Yeah.
let me finish this from Jeremiah, verse 2. It says, and will send unto Babylon banners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that let the archer bend his bow. That's all the other nations that got nuclear capabilities. They're gonna bend their arrows, their missiles shot at America. And against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. And that's what the brother's saying. They're going to be getting thrust through because of those missiles. The missiles going to thrust you from, like you said, if you don't get vaporized, your corpse, your corpse will be getting thrust through to the land to utterly destruction.
Then, but
And then Jeremiah 51, that it goes into Babylon, which is America.
Yeah.
So that's how we know America is going to be destroyed. Thermonuclear destruction.
Yeah, right. And also it tells you that that's how you know this ain't ancient Babylon, because it talks about utterly destroyed without inhabitants.
And also, I think in that same chapter, it refers to the daughter of Babylon as the threshing floor.
yeah, it's all about that. Yeah.
So when the Lord returns, he's gonna do some threshing, man. When you look up, what it is to thrash, it's basically to beat violently.
Yep.
And how is Babylon gonna fall? Because of violence shall that great city, Babylon, be thrown down. You know, and that's how the Lord's gonna reverse the dynamic that you see in the earth with wickedness, oversaturating the earth. The Lord's going to restore that balance when He comes back and destroy this place, so that righteousness will finally be able to, rejuvenate.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, it's all building up, man. The Lord is allowing this wickedness to pile up, so that He can finally, be forced to move. Because he's was that in Nahum, the first chapter, it says that he's long suffering, he's
jealous, slow
to wrath, but he's great in power. Yeah, man, and he's gonna show that power. That's for the sake of why he rose up Esau on his level, so that he can show that power, just like he did Pharaoh. They was at the height of their wickedness, and the Lord finally stepped in and countered them with the right hand. That's what the Lord's going to do in this time against Esau.
And he used in ancient Egypt, he used Moses and Aaron to basically taunt the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And he's using the men of the Lord now to taunt the modern day Pharaoh, which is Esau.
Yeah.
Because how is he being taunted? Because we're basically bringing out everything, from how this whole thing is going to be played out to the end of which is your destruction, and you going into slavery along with the other nations.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got something else?
Yeah. This is a second Esdras 14 and 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee. So our people, their thoughts is what? How they gonna get out of this situation with COVID, their stimulus check, how they gonna get, a new job, or how they gonna everything monetary.
Back to the normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Their mortal thoughts is how they gonna recover. It says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. So much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. For the truth is fled far away, and the leasing is hard, and it's hard at hand. For now hasten the vision to come, which thou hast seen.
So to us, 2 Peter 3, we're hastening the coming of the day of the Lord.
That's right.
We have a new heaven and a new earth. We're in for the righteousness.
Yeah.
That's what we're hasting for, man. We're sick and tired of this, man. We want the Lord to show up yesterday, man.
These things must take place. Wickedness must increase.
It has to happen
for us to to be delivered and get out of here. That's for this place to go down. We know it has to. Esau gonna turn up the heat on his place, but hey, so is the Most High. You know, the Most High is gonna, you know, make his men be more on fire. Champ this place down as you know, the closer we get. You know.
It's Romans 9 and starting 18. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will pardon.
But also, it's not just plucking people out of the blue. You got the people doing something to earn that mercy or to earn that destruction, that wrath.
19. Thou will say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh by Yahushua? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? And
He said, it said what? Did it say long suffering?
much long suffering.
Or much long suffering. But the Most High, he has such a patience outside of this world to allow this activity just continue to happen while we're like, yo, but he's also like, we crying out to him, and he's like, hey, I'm setting it up. Like y'all, you know.
He's also merciful because he's allowing his elect to be sealed and allowing, you know, men the opportunity to
Still building up.
Yeah.
The church is still, you know, still building up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the elect, they're going to be found blameless before the Lord returns. We're basically, the elect are being adorned. Like it talks about those 10 virgins, 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. The ones that were wise, they trimmed them naps, meaning they prepared themselves. They were adorned.
So they
was
ran
getting
out.
ready for that
The house
wedding
came back.
feast.
They ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one's like, give us some of yours. Like,
everybody else, they was asked out.
Yeah.
You know, so the Lord, he's long suffering, man. While he's allowing Esau to do what he's doing, and then once that wickedness hits that final level, that's when the Lord's gonna, you know, put in that sickle. He's gonna come down and press, stamp on that wine press.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's 22. But what if Yahweh willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
Sadly enough, he has to do that. You people must have forgot how the Most High moves in the earth, man. You know, you forgot the terror of the Lord. You forgot how you persuade people. Hey, but how the heart, brother Hunter bringing that up in the last night's Atlanta stream. Right there, it's like, well, how the harlot got mercy because she heard what the Most High did to Egypt. Okay, you people will never get it mistaken again what the Most High is all about after this event comes.
Yeah, they forgot his reputation of being called Al-Shadi.
Right.
You know, there's a reason why the nations refer to him as such. Demon-like power, man.
And no one remembers the Noah flood, by the way. You know what I mean? Like that one was forgotten. But that was because there was no one left. You know, that lived through it like that. They lived through it. There's people like the Sumerian account, you know, when they talk about that article of information, it's talking about there's an event in there written like the Noah flood. So the people of Sumer looked at it and wrote down what they saw happening. So they remember the time of Egypt. They remember those events happening in the earth. But the event that's coming is going to blow everything that ever happened in the earth out the water, man. Do you want to be on the good side of witnessing that and being in good case, or do you want to be a part of the story of the majesty and the wrath of the Lord that came to the earth? Being just part of the victims, I like to say victims, they earned it, but part of the people that got taken out because of that.
We got 23. And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory.
That sounds like the place to be. That sounds like the place to be. You know? You say it plain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. So hey, you know, when we see stuff, you know, automatically we jump on it. We see the little Nas X and stuff like that. It's gonna get worse, man. But the Most High is still long suffering. He has to allow it to build. All right. So wickedness is going to continue to increase, but this has been a learning process for us. You know, the Lord purpose for Eve to go off in the manner that she did, and with that, it came Adam. He fell, and thus we had to go through this process.
Yeah.
But now the Lord is gonna he's gonna make things right again, and he's gonna do away with all this wickedness. Not to say that these nations they're not gonna still go off and we're in the kingdom, but this has been a multi a millennial learning process for us. Okay, to know because we're going to be judges of the world to come. We're going to be a nation of kings and priests. So it's bitter, but hey, but look at the experience that we just got. It got crazy.
We're at the end of this thing.
But we're at the end of it, man. Now
We're at the end of the thing.
now we can appreciate righteousness and enter into a kingdom, with that mindset, man. Okay. So that's going to pretty much end the lesson right there. The water to you brothers tuned in. The water for the precepts. We're going to start off by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Kakudash.
To the elder apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. We're going to say shalom.
Shalom.